Hey everyone, and welcome to the Kelly Alexandra Show. On today's episode, I will be showing you how to get the perfect foundation using all drugstore products. And if you'd like to learn how to do that, then continue watching. Alrighty, well first I want to talk about what I do before I apply my foundation and everything. What I do before is I'll wash my face, and what I always use day and night is my Burts Bees Citrus Facial Scrub. And it looks kind of weird, like if you can see that. It looks really weird and it smells good. To me it smells good. It smells really natural. It leaves my face not feeling really dry afterwards. It actually makes my face feel really good afterwards. It's soft and it feels really replenished. Yeah, and by the way, I know this isn't a drugstore product, but I get it at Target for about $7. So that's not too bad. It's not going to break you in the bank. This little jar lasts you a couple months. So yes, I've used 3 of these already, and I really like this product. Alright, moving on. The Revlon Beyond Natural Smoothing Primer. That's what it looks like. This is what I use to prime my face. Alrighty, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your primer, and I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. Like this much. Can you see that? Yeah, just like that much. And you're going to take it, and you're going to put it in certain areas, the certain 5 important areas, which are your cheeks, your chin, your forehead, and your nose. And now what you're going to do is you're going to blend all those areas out evenly. And by doing this, it just allows you to get every area evenly and then be able to spread it out. So yeah. Alright, so once you have your face primed, what we're going to do, let me get my hair out of my face. Alright, so once you have your face completely primed, my face doesn't look this shiny in person, the camera just picks up a lot of shine. But what we're going to do is now I'm going to take my Revlon Colorstay, and I'm the color 110 Ivory, which I'm pretty sure is the lightest shade because I'm very, very white. I'm working on my tan though, I'm working on my tan. I don't know if you can tell. But, so I'm going to, see luckily when you open it, it kind of stays at the top, which is nice. So you're going to put your finger in it. So as you can see, I've put my Revlon Colorstay in these 5 sections, which are my cheeks, my chin, my forehead, and my nose, like we did with the primer. And I'm going to take this stippling brush, and this is by Sigma. It's the synthetic flat top kabuki, and it looks like this. It's a really nice brush. It's my favorite foundation brush, and especially for the Revlon. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the stippling brush and kind of spread it out like this. And I'm doing padding motions to spread it out. And this foundation does set a little quickly, but it's not unmanageable, I promise you. Like, I've been sitting here talking without spreading it out, and it's still just fine. But it does set a little quicker than most other ones, just because it's a little thicker. So we're going to get that everywhere. Get the forehead, stipple it out, and then spread it. And a lot of foundations you have to kind of test to see how it works if you put it on your eyes. This one is fine for if putting it on your eyes if you want to cancel out any redness. I do recommend putting on like an Urban Decay primer potion after this, or a powder to set it, just so that it doesn't crease on your eyelids. Okay, so once you have your foundation all spread out, it's going to look something like this. And if you want, you can totally just go back in those areas where there's a little redness. And if for areas that have like blemishes and stuff, if you want to use this rather than concealer, what I recommend doing if you're going to be using a brush like this, put some foundation on the areas that you want to add a little more foundation. And what you're going to do is you're going to stipple it in all the way. You're not going to really blend it in, because when you blend it in, it spreads out the product and it doesn't let the product be more concentrated on the area that you want it to. So by stippling it, and then at the very end lightly kind of moving the brush a little bit in a downward motion rather than just up and down, kind of go like this, It's going to allow the product to be more concentrated on those certain areas. Okay, I'm happy with the way it looks. I'm going to add a little concealer over my blemishes. And the one I would normally use, I've been lately even using the Kat Von D one, which is from Sephora. I kind of like it. It's probably, I'd rather use a MAC Studio Finish. That's much better than this. But if you're the drugstore kind of person, the one I like to use is the Dream Mousse Concealer. And this is what the lid looks like. So that's what that looks like. I also like the foundation, but I like the Revlon Colorstay much more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush like this, or you can use your fingers, but this is a MAC 224 brush. This isn't a MAC 224 brush, but it's by Crown. It looks just like it. And I'm going to dip that in the mousse, and I'm going to put it on those areas, and I'm going to dab it in. And this is further just covering the really problematic areas. Because the Revlon Colorstay is like it's like medium coverage and it's really buildable. So you usually actually don't even need too much concealer. Okay, so I just had a couple of pimples I wanted to cover up. And hair fell out. Okay, so once we have this, I am now going to take my e.l.f. under eye concealer and highlighter. It looks like this. It's $1 and I find it at Target, and every Target has e.l.f. products. And I'm going to take the concealer side and I'm going to dab that on the back of my hand, just like this much. Okay, and I'm going to swirl it in here. And I'm going to put this in the inner corner area of my eye, just to get rid of, I have a little bit of purpleness in here. Sorry, my phone's ringing. So this really helps get rid of that. I mean, there is such a difference when I use this. So if you can see this eye compared to this eye, it just looks so much more brought back to life. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to bring it in here, and I'm going to swirl it, whatever's left on it, I'm going to swirl it up into here. That's where I personally get the purpleness. So once you have, it's kind of like a purple blueness, and what I would recommend is one that has kind of an orangey tint. You can also go, if it's more purpley, you get kind of like a yellowish tint. And if it's more green, you're going to want to get a pinky tint. And mine is more purple blue, so the brown works best. I mean, the orange toned one looks best on me. So then I'm going to take the highlighter end. There you go. We're going to put about a little more than that. This much on there. And this is really, really awesome because it lightens up the corner of your eye, which also just will make your eyes look a little bit bigger. And it has a little bit of a luminosity to it, so it also just it just adds a very nice highlight to it, and I really like that. For being only $1, it works really well, and it doesn't, go into the folds of your eyes or anything. Like, can you see that? I actually have some folds in my eyes, and it's not falling into those cracks, which is really nice because a lot of other products do. Okay, so once you're happy with the way your face looks, you're going to have to set it. And the one I recommend, this to me is basically a drugstore product because I find it at Target, it's very inexpensive, and it's Sonia Kashuk. I'm sorry if you guys don't consider this drugstore. I guess it's not literally at a drugstore. It's at Target in the drugstore makeup section though. It's not at like makeup stores. It might be. No, I don't think so. I've only seen Sonia Kashuk at Target. But if you literally are only going to a drugstore, the one I recommend using is the Bare Natural Mineral Finish Powder. And they have a translucent one, or you can get a colored one. If this isn't enough coverage for you, I'd recommend getting the colored one. But if this if this is enough coverage for you, I'd recommend getting the translucent one. You know what? I'll just use the translucent one since it's a drugstore tutorial. But the Sonia Kashuk one's also very good. And I'm just going to take a really big fluffy brush. This is from Crown. It was only a couple dollars. And you can use this brush. I would just prefer to use a little bit fluffier one. And I'm going to take it, and I'm going to dab it in those areas like I said. Dab it in those certain areas, and we're going to blend it in. And this is going to just set everything. This is going to make it so your makeup does not budge all day long. And because it's translucent, it won't affect your foundation. It won't change the color of it. Of course, if you're using not a higher end one, it's very hard to find one that's actually translucent. And this one seems to have a little bit of color to it, like not enough to even notice, but maybe if you have, you know, darker skin, you might be able to notice it. So, but the Sonia Kashuk one has like literally no color to it. It's like white. I haven't used this blush. I tried it once and I didn't really like it, but that's just me. And then yeah, so once this is set, you are all done with your foundation. That's everything actually. Oh yeah, and one more thing. If you have really fair skin and you get red in your face like me, I get very red. Not so much acne scars. If you just have a red skin tone and you kind of don't want that redness, the drugstore product I would recommend is the L'Oreal Studio Secrets, and it's the anti-redness primer, and it's green. So like I said, if you have, I didn't really say this, but I mentioned about the eye circles. If you have redness in your skin, green is the complementary color to red, and it will neutralize it. And you would put this, I wouldn't use this as my only primer, I would put this over my L'Oreal primer. I'd put my L'Oreal primer all over my face, and this in the areas that are needed. So yeah, I hope you guys found that very helpful. I'm a drugstore makeup person. That's what I love to try to use the most because I am on a budget, and I realize so many of you guys are too, and a lot of the makeup artists on YouTube seem to really just concentrate on using all MAC or, you know, all this company or all that, and I really want to help you guys so you guys can get, you know, the best of what you can afford. And I've been using drugstore products for years, so I didn't just go to the drugstore and pick these up and go, this is how you do it. No, I've tested and I've tried out some of all the concealers and all the things that I like from several occasions over the years, and these are the ones that I've chosen. So yeah, I really hope you found this to be helpful, and if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments down below, and I hope to hear from all of you guys soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye.